It's Louie Mealy here. How are you guys doing today? Welcome to my very first YouTube video on this channel, where I plan on talking about everything finances and my investment journey. So what better way to start off this channel than by telling you guys how I got into investing at 18 years old. So I'd say in the 8th grade is when I really started looking at making money, buying and selling things to other students. One day I'd brought in about 2 packs of Mountain Dew, and they were for a party that we were having at school. We used up about 1 pack of it and I left the rest in my locker, and before lunch one day I went up to my locker to grab some things, and some kid came with me. He saw the Mountain Dew and he told me that he would pay me for it. So I started bringing in Mountain Dew cans every day just to sell to a few people. At first I was only making about $2 to $4 a day selling to a small group of people I'd have lunch with, but soon it would quickly escalate to every class I had there would be somebody in it that wanted to buy a soda off of me. Now the problem I had with selling soda in school was not the teachers. It was not any teacher ratting me out. It was not any students ratting me out. They couldn't have cared less. It was actually the weight and the amount of space a soda can takes up. So if I was really lucky, I'd be able to get about 12 soda cans in my backpack and that would be it. So in one day I'd bring home $12 and that was a very good haul. And selling 12 soda cans would make me about $8 profit. So because of how hard it was to bring soda cans into school, I started making these new candies myself. Now you have to realize in the 8th grade, I had just transferred schools. I was in a brand new school. I went from a private school to a public school. And one thing I noticed that everybody in that school loved was Lifesavers. The little Lifesaver mints that you can buy in bags of 200 at Walmart. Everybody would go crazy over and ask you for them and pay you for them. They wanted them no matter what they had to do. So I had decided that I was going to make my own new candy, and this candy would be based off of those Lifesavers that everybody liked, but I would have a sour twist on them. I took these Lifesavers and dunked them in a little bit of water and put them into a bag filled with lemon powder. I rolled them up in saran wrap into about 4 or 5 per pack, and then I sold those packs for $1. See, the thing is, these candies didn't have to be good. Nobody had to like them. It was an intriguing concept and it was a new thing that nobody had ever had before, a sour mint. So anybody that I told about them, for the most part, I could get to buy at least 1 pack. And for me, that was perfectly fine. If they had it and they didn't like it, whatever. I could stop making them and continue selling sodas. But for a few select people, they bought these candies from me every single day, to the point where I would have to make packs of them every night. I would probably make about 8 packs of them per night, and then I'd keep them in my backpack and try to talk people into buying them in the morning. Long story short, there was some success, but in the end, I just stuck to the soda cans. It was also around this time that I got my first summer job, working at around the age 14, making arcade cabinets essentially. I would work every other week during the summer for 40 hours a week at $8 an hour. It's actually how I afforded this PC that I'm recording on right now. As the next school year would roll along, I'd find myself needing more money again, because I no longer had a summer job to support myself. I went back to selling soda cans, but I didn't just sell any regular Mountain Dews. No, I was the guy that got the special edition Mountain Dews that you wanted, so nobody else could really compete with me. I would go to little known stores that carried these special edition Mountain Dews, buy all of their cases, and sell them to these kids. But again, I'd only sell them for $1. And you may be thinking, why $1? Well, nobody's going to pay $2 for a can of soda, and nobody's going to pay $1.50, only because $1.50 is too hard to come across in school. Most people will carry dollars with them, and you don't want to be carrying around a whole bag of change all day. So $1 just made sense and I still made a profit from it. Overall, it probably led to more sales. I'd say in all my time selling stuff at school, I've probably made a couple $100 selling soda and candy at school. It is really a good side hustle when you're in school and you can't really do anything else. But after you can get a job, it's not really worth it anymore. Considering that I was bringing 12 cans of soda in my backpack per day, it was really heavy, and if you didn't sell them, well, you're shit out of luck. So in between selling these sodas and everything, I would still work this summer job, because selling sodas went on for about 3 years. And while I was working this summer job, I decided that I would start saving $1,000 a year, which is really not that hard for somebody under the age of 18 or maybe even 16. I started doing it when I was 15, and if you break it down, it's less than $100 a month that you need to save. So from 15 years old to 17 years old, I saved $1,000 a year. Actually, I might have been doing it at 14 too, I'm not really sure, but I was saving $1,000 a year and keeping it in a savings account. It wasn't until right around 17 years old that I would start to get interested in the stock market and how it worked and how I could make money off of it. But because I was 17 at the time, I couldn't actually invest into the market. So what I did was I downloaded a paper trading app. And if you don't know what that is, I'd highly suggest you download one and just mess around with it before you actually get trading. What it is it just gives you some fake money, and it gives you the real stock market, and it mirrors the real stock market. You tell it what you want to invest in, it buys those stocks for you, it sits there in your portfolio, and you can buy and sell those stocks whenever you want to, just like a real brokerage but with fake money. So I'd go on to do paper trading for a few months, but ultimately fell out of it a little bit. It wasn't until the very end of summer in between my junior year and my senior year that I would actually get re-interested in the stock market and all the things I could do with my money to make money for me in the future and right now. I started watching all of these different YouTube videos on all of these investing terms and how to invest and things like day trading and how to set up a dividend portfolio and all of these different things just so I could get into the market when I was 18 and know exactly what I was doing. So my 18th birthday rolls around, and at my party I'm sitting there on my phone setting up my first Acorns account, have my social security card in hand, typing it into my phone, taking pictures of my passport, and sending it off to Acorns so I could get some of that sweet investment money. I also set up a Robinhood account at this time, but I didn't really touch that for a while. I was really apprehensive at first to put any money into the stock market because there is always the chance of you losing money in the stock market, and that really scared me at first, but now I'm more lenient towards it. An example of me being scared of it is when I first got Acorns, I only put $50 into it, and I thought, $50, I might make something off of that, but I would lose a few pennies here and there, and then I'd realize that if I wanted to actually see returns from my money, I would need to put more in there. So I put an extra $30 in there. To give you an idea on what time frame this is September. And if you don't know anything about September in the stock market, it is usually one of the worst months out of the year. So my $80 quickly turned into about $78, and I got pretty scared and set my portfolio to super conservative. But after realizing that this was a mistake, I set it to the riskiest I possibly could, which on Acorns is about 80% small and large company stocks, so the basic stock market, and then 20% bonds. After doing this, I would also take all of my savings money and slowly throw it into my investment portfolios, whether that be Robinhood or Acorns at the time, mostly Acorns, because I liked that I didn't really have to do much with it and I didn't have to be the one making the decisions. So every few weeks, maybe every week, I'd throw another $100 into my Acorns account. And after I had about $4,000 saved up, that wasn't too much to throw in at a time. After a little while, I would experiment with the actual stock market with Robinhood, and I tried day trading at first, and I lost about $1.50. And then one lucky day, I invested in AMD, bought about 3 stocks of that, and made all of my money back. Later on, I would go to invest with Webull just because I could get free stocks for depositing $100. At first, I didn't really trust the platform, but after a little while and seeing that I could actually get my $100 back, I reinvested all my money into there and took it all out of the Robinhood account. So that pretty much takes us up to present day. Now to talk about some of the things I want to do on this channel. So this is my first video, and I really want to make this channel into kind of a personal investing and finance news channel. I want to talk about all of the things you guys need to know about your money. I want to talk about your savings account, your investment account, your 401ks, your IRAs, all that different kind of stuff, and how I'm dealing with that as an 18-year-old in the stock market in 2020. It's going to be an interesting time, but if you want to come along for the ride, don't forget to hit that like, comment, favorite, and subscribe for more. And I'd suggest you take a look down in the description for a few other links I've left down there. Otherwise, thank you for watching to the end, and I'll see you next time.